2-drink minimum, shooting on Frenchmen Street right now. We are about to interview this man. Y'all know me. I'm Chris. Y'all know Gabe. That's Gabe. And
Hey,
Gabe, who are we hanging out with right here, buddy?
So we're here with artist Jeremy Fish, who's visiting us from. You live in San Francisco, correct, Jeremy?
Correct.
Yeah. And welcome back to New Orleans, Jeremy. We're really happy to have Jeremy here. We have a solo show opening for him this Friday that is titled what is it?
Sign of the Times.
Which a chunk of these drawings you said were inspired by some travels that you did recently. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was overseas earlier this summer and just kind of came to the realization that the world is looking at us in a way that if you live here and you're looking at the country from the inside and just seeing what's going on here, it's one thing, but to leave and realize how the whole world is looking at us right now, it's just something I hadn't given much thought.
It's humiliating, isn't it?
It wasn't just humiliating, it was painful. Like, it's hard
to
answer for something that you can't stop, you didn't start, and you're somehow being held responsible for it in the world's eyes, and that's why,
Yeah, that's something that I noticed, though, about this show, aside from the sort of like more social commentary and political commentary and some of the imagery, is you have a really good variety, though, too, of certain modes that you work in. And a lot of the motifs I've become familiar with your work over the years tend to involve animals and totemic animals and sort of the morphing and relationships amongst animals, symbolic in terms of like the symbolism of them. But what is it that sort of like sparks your initial interest in, working with animal symbolism with your work as far as communicating these ideas?
Children's books. You know what I mean? My mom was a librarian. I grew up sitting on the floor in libraries killing time. I think just looking at thousands of children's books when you're a kid and seeing how, like, traditionally throughout mythology, the rabbit is fast, the turtle is slow, the owl is wise. Like, I don't know. They're just kind of built-in symbols that if the idea is I'm looking at a smartphone, well, it's an owl and it's a phone. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to use an animal as sort of a storytelling device.
Totally.
And that's kind of how I use them.
And your mom was a librarian.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the coolest jobs for a parent to have if you're a creative kid. It's got to break up there. Like you're just hanging out and around books. You're just surrounded by books.
Yeah, and I think when you're a kid, you'd always rather be doing something else. And I don't think I realized till I became kind of a young adult, starting to do this more aggressively, like pursue it as a job. And I realized where a lot of the influences came from, and a lot of it was like my mom was a single mom with 3 jobs. So it was like, sit here and do this for this amount of time until I can get back and we'll do something else. So a lot of that's watching Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and a lot of that's looking at Richard Scarry illustrations, and a lot of stuff that you don't realize what an impact it makes in the way you think about drawing something,
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of that comes from.
Do you have a favorite children's book that you remember? Gabe, same question for you.
Probably the Tales of Jeremy Fisher, which is a Beatrix Potter book. And it's about a frog. And I wasn't named after him, but everybody always thought when I was a kid I was. So he's a cool fisherman frog.
That's incredible.
Where the Wild Things are. Yeah, I remember when my mom first showed that one to me. I was super into that one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mine was Berenstain Bears Don't Eat Junk Food.
Nothing wrong with the bears.
Nothing wrong with the bears. Don't eat junk food.
Something else I noticed in the show too is, and these are older pieces of yours, but you had some tributes to Crumb. So would you say another early influence of yours is from the Bay Area, sort of that sort of like early sort of like graphic influence of the Zap comic era of Crumb and folks like that as well?
Yeah, definitely. I when I was in art school in San Francisco, I worked at the Cartoon Art Museum as like an intern, and part of my job was like cataloging a lot of guys from Crumb's era and a lot of his drawings. So I think that's kind of how I got interested in his stuff. Those particular pieces are from a residency I did in the Upper Haight during COVID. That was like it was paid for by Grants for the Arts, and it was like an artist in residence program on the Haight-Ashbury to draw a lot of things about the history of that district and the history of the counterculture in that area. And that's where Crumb lived. And those drawings, like Keep on Trucking, like those illustrations are very Upper Haight, and they were drawn during the time where he lived there. So because I was staying there, because I was being paid to draw a bunch of stuff about that neighborhood, those are kind of my versions of his drawings, because I feel like there's an enormous amount of illustrators and artists from that era, 60s, 70s, like poster and comic dudes. But for me, whenever I think about the Upper Haight at that time, I always just picture Robert Crumb. I know he lived around there. Yeah, so those are just kind of I actually saw the dude when I first moved to San Francisco. I was in the middle of nowhere, out on like a dirt road by the naval base. We saw this dude in like a 3-piece suit with like a big straw hat, and he's like, his pants are pulled way up. He's got like a briefcase, and everybody in the car just got silent, and we're like, no fucking way. Like Robert Crumb, for whatever reason, like way out in the baby all alone.
Now, is it Sid Mead that did the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers? Was that the artist that did that work?
Sure.
Well, not Sid Mead, but whoever that artist is, I know that his nephew contacted me in the last year, and the fella that did the Freak Brothers and Crumb are neighbors in France.
Sick.
Yeah, right. I thought that was a pretty.
Oh, because he traded 7 sketchbooks for a castle in France. That's why he lives there.
Wait, what? Wait, a dude traded 7?
Again, I wouldn't go to court. But as far as
This is not cool. This is our podcast.
I was told was that Robert Crumb traded 7 like really valuable sketchbooks from like his heyday in exchange for a castle in France.
Did the castle have like?
I don't know.
Was it furnished?
I've never been to visit.
Are castles furnished?
Just like leave it at face value. Castle, like
yeah.
City castle, great castle. To trade sketchbooks for a castle says a lot.
I like that.
Literally.
So how much time have you been in San Francisco now?
31 years.
31. So that's home.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I'm from New York, but I moved there when I was 19.
okay. And how many times have you been to New Orleans? I know this is not your first time.
No, a lot. I moved here for a month the year I graduated high school. I'm from upstate New York, and I graduated high school in 1992. And a kid that I knew who was going to Tulane was managing like a big house full of college students, like an old Victorian kind of by the school. And it was paid up for the summer. Like everyone had paid their rent. It was an empty house. So me and another dude like came down here in a pickup truck and like went skateboarding and tried to get jobs. And at that point in my life, all I'd ever done was either work in a restaurant or work in retail. So you couldn't get a job here in the summer if you weren't from here then.
Yeah.
I don't know how that kind of works now, but back then we just couldn't get jobs. So we stayed till our money ran out and went back.
Good for you.
But I've probably been back like a dozen times as an adult. But that was like, I hadn't really been anywhere at 17 when I graduated high school, like I really had just seen like parts of the East Coast and stuff with my family. So it's cool to come. This is like the furthest away I'd ever been.
Yeah.
And the first time, and the drinking age had just changed from 18 to 21. And even though I was 17, a lot of bars back then were like you were almost there,
Intermission. The slingshots are back out. Yeah, it's fall. We got the slingshot parades back out, baby.
The thing that I'm curious about is how, as someone who loves New Orleans, someone who loves San Francisco, can I get some side-by-side comparisons, like things you love about San Francisco that could never happen here, and vice versa? Because people compare these cities a lot, right?
I will at least say, not the whole city. At some point in history, it was both of the city's appreciation and like perpetual like support for live music. San Francisco is not entirely like that anymore. The neighborhood I live in, which is the oldest part of the city, is like the best live music neighborhood. Like 7 nights a week. There's the oldest bar in the city is this place, the Saloon, and they have live music every night of the week. So I think for us, because that's where we live, this feels very similar and very familiar because there's always live music here, and that's really 4 blocks from where I live are all bars that have live music every day. So that's kind of cool and something I see as similar. But as far as both cities, nightlife, like a good nightlife, a big appreciation for food and nightlife.
Who has the best burrito?
We invented it.
Trick question. I knew that.
What's that?
Said that was a trick question. I actually knew that.
And it was a trick answer. I didn't give my opinion on. You know what? I've never even had a burrito.
You saw right through me, Jeremy.
There's so much stuff you guys have that we don't food-wise. So yeah, I don't even think I've ever had Mexican here. Not for any reason other than
no. You're right.
To food that we don't have.
You're right. You don't need to have it, probably.
Well, if there's a burrito place you think I'm missing out on, that's where this is going. I'll try something. So I got nothing against a burrito. I just never think of it when I'm here.
No, you're not wrong.
We eat like alligator and shit. Like we don't.
Yeah.
We don't have that. It's not an option where I live.
What are some of the dishes that you tend to favor that you appreciate that you can only have here?
I always start off by going to Coops. I've been going there.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Coops.
Yeah, that's why he mentioned alligator.
Yeah. And we got in late. Our train was really delayed. We went, checked in, and got to Coops by like 9 something.
Yeah.
And they stopped serving at 10.
Yep.
And the lady was just super accommodating. The meal was flawless. It's a cool, I don't know, it's a cool place to depend on. You know, if you don't come to a city every year, like I've been here since 2017. And before that, it had been a few years. Like I come here as often as I can, but not often enough. It's just cool to see that place is exactly how it was the first time I came here.
Yeah.
Nothing about it's different. It's a nice
Nothing has
eclectic
changed.
mix of people sitting there, you know, from all over the world.
Yeah.
Plus people who
Coops
live
is
here.
Coops is one of the rare spots, in my opinion. I'm curious if you agree with this, Gabe. But it's like you're right to like tourists are right to go there. We are right to take our family there or
Yep.
to go there randomly when you just want a good bowl of jambalaya. It's like
I like their
it's-
fried chicken.
You're
a lot.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, their fried
There's some
chicken's
places
so
where it's like
fucking
you
good.
read about it. It's like you're wrong. That place is not where everyone
No,
goes.
I send everybody there. I take artists there. I've spent a lot of time in Coops. Yeah.
It's just a killer way to start things off, you know? Big fan.
Yeah. Before, when I didn't live here and I would come here, Coops would be one of the first places I would go to every time. Yeah. Yes, your compass is totally right on there. Cool.
And also doing something as cliche as going to Cafe Du Monde, which like I realize if you live here, it's people who talk about the same way about Fisherman's Wharf or Alcatraz. Like if you live there, you don't do that. But like I like Fisherman's Wharf, I like Alcatraz, and I love Cafe Du Monde. You know, I'm not gonna do that every day of my life, but just every so often when I get out here, cliche and touristy as it may be, and then walk up on the waterfront and get stoned and just look back at the city.
Dude, I think that's perfect. I get Cafe Du Monde during Christmas time, and whenever there's a hurricane warning, I go and get Cafe Du
That
Monde.
sugar looks like fake snow. Holiday.
Yeah, why not? Why not? There's the season, baby. You know.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy, we really appreciate you taking the time, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really grateful that you came back to the city here to visit us. Stoked to have you here, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all week here, and definitely looking forward to your opening this Friday too, man. So once again, we're stoked to have you here, man. Hope you have a great time. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited to be back. I hope everybody makes an effort to come out on Friday night and see the prints and drawings that I brought with me and just help celebrate this great city on a night when there's some art openings, you know?
Yeah, so go and
Yeah.
support this man over at Mortal Machine Gallery on Royal Street. We are on Frenchmen Street right now. It is NOLA by NOLA week. If you missed it this year, check it out next year. We're going to go hit the streets right now and hang out. Thank you all for watching. 2 Drink Minimum, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes,
All the things.
all of the things. Shout out to Steve behind the camera. Thank you, Jeremy. See y'all next time.
Cheers.